Hello friends, welcome to ProTalent, and in the previous video we discussed about how to start your preparation for WAT and GD. In this video we will tackle the big important part called B-School personal interview. The Indian B-School interview may be most random of all interview processes that you will ever face in your life. Going by the student testimonials and transcripts over the last few years, none of the school seems to have a fixed method of asking questions. If panels have one thing in common, it seems to be they are, mistrust of candidates and claims they make. Most panels start with the premise that the only thing the candidate wants is to make more money, and hence it might be useless to start asking them the questions. So therefore, they start, big 5 questions like, tell us something about yourself. Describe your work experience. Why do you want to do an MBA? Why are your long-term and short-term goals? List your strength and weaknesses. They will use standard questions as a surprise element when you are least prepared for it, or they might not use at all. So, how do you go about preparing for this randomness apart from current affair, which we talked about in the last video? So, draw various circles and try to prepare for it. Draw the largest circle with yourself as a center. The PI is primarily a test of the stuff you are made of. So, right at the center of it, one, chap who is ready to be grilled, to be, drilled for very important, part, that is you. So, remember, आप अपने आप को 4 अलग अलग भागों में डिवाइड करिए, नॉट फिजिकली, बट इन टर्म्स ऑफ मेंटली. फर्स्ट, यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर योर पर्सनल बैकग्राउंड. दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट कंटेन्स all information that is relevant to you as a person, like meaning of your name, number of district in the state, the rivers, the Lok Sabha seats, the recent events, future election, famous personalities, anything and everything to do with you, to with your state, to the state you are born or you are raised in, or about your parents' profession, they may ask questions about everything. Second part, very crucial, that is your educational background. Remember, as the name suggests, it deals with all questions that can be relevant to your educational background. Yes, if your engineering subjects which have created a lot of trouble to you, you have to bring those back. Any other topic which has created trouble to you, please prepare for it. There are 2 types of questions in this. One is lowest hanging fruit, like theoretical concepts in your discipline. So they can ask directly those questions. Still, they will have enough top level knowledge about many subjects to ask you about basic questions from your area. For example, students with a commerce background might be asked the difference between single entry and double entry accounting. A mechanical engineer may be asked questions on thermodynamics. Electrical engineer might be asked about Kirchhoff's law. So, you must revise the basic concepts across most critical subjects in your graduation. Second type of questions are about practical applications of your discipline. This applies more to engineering, science, and the commerce graduate as well. Panelists may ask, electronics and communication engineer about to find out the difference between 3G, 4G, and 5G, or possibly how does Bluetooth works, or asking mechanical engineer about how CVT or automatic transmission works in a car. So there are students are provided with a certain kind of e-books by varieties of the B schools. Please prepare from it. The third type, the third preparation you have to work on is your professional background. Working professionals will be expected to know more about the project they are working on. So everything ranging from the turnover of your company to those of your major competitors, the CEO of the big firms in your industry, or the recent controversy or happenings in your field like banking. Let's say if you are working in banking, then you must know about how Sam Bankman-Fried created trouble. You might be asked about electric cars, Tesla, Musk, and various major industry trends. The fourth part, you discuss about your hobbies and interests. Whatever you mention as your hobbies or interests, you need to have an in-depth understanding about the hobbies. What do I mean by in-depth understanding? If you say you love football, then you need to know everything from the weight of the football to the circumference of the football and the dimensions of the football field and the dimensions of the goal post, everything about your favorite team. If you say you love trekking, then you need to know what are the highest mountains in the world are, what are the highest motorable road in the world. So these are the kind of questions where you need to prepare well. This would technically be the largest circle you can draw around yourself that you need to fill with every current affair, GK questions, every lateral connected points you need to prepare for. It goes without saying that you might not be able to learn everything about football. But for example, a panelist might ask you, do you remember Zidane's Champion League volley? You might say yes, very much. It is one of the greatest goals in the football. Or the panelist might say, which team was the real playing against in that final? Some of you might know, some of you might not. So do not freak out thinking about most random things that can be asked. On any topic, there is a circle that denotes your knowledge and a circle that denotes panelist knowledge. Your job is to maximize the chances of overlapping. And remember, the harder you work, the luckier you will get in. So my dear students, prepare well for this PI. Remember, this preparation will ensure that you are entering into a right B school of your choice. All the best.